Well, YouTube, what's going on? We got another one coming at you. Found some more cars. Hope everybody had a good holiday. Kind of set up a little street scene. I'll probably have to move the cars, but I was just playing around. It's fun to use the roadway. Well, what do we look at first? Well, we've been kind of getting not main lines, but kind of interesting Matchbox Hot Wheels to start the shows out, and we're gonna do it again. I found some fun ones like this, for instance, the Ford Excursion. This is a 2000 Ford. They only made these for a short time, but basically Super Duty chassis. So 3/4 1 ton type of truck. These are all 250s really. V10, V8, diesel. So you can get them in all three ways. This had the really cool. It had Dutch doors. So these swung out and then this swung up. It was kind of neat. And I never opened a hood on it. Let's take a look. Probably looks like the diesel. It's kind of cool. So yeah, this is a neato truck for sure. Very popular vehicle. These go for tons of money still, even if they got miles on them. Thing is the size of an Econoline truck, but it's an SUV. I mean, it's very, very funny. They used to do, before the Expedition came out, on these trucks and the brick nose Fords, but OBS basically, they have a company that used crew cab, but then they did the Bronco back, so they call them, can't remember what they called those trucks. It'll come to me in a little bit, but their coach builder made them. And basically it was like this, but on kind of like a Bronco mashup with a crew cab. Kind of a funny thing. But anyway, so yeah, small scale. I don't think they call out the scale on this, but certainly smaller than 1/64 scale. Sometimes with Hot Wheels or Matchbox you'll get lucky and you'll see they'll put a scale on it. But this one doesn't seem to have anything. But yeah, really cool, two-tone. Alright, so take a look over here. Put this away. One more. I had to get it. This thing is sweet. So Rover SD1. They had the V8 in these, and the police used them too. They were quite popular for that reason. But British Leyland back then, not the best. This was kind of a bright spot of the cars. Had a cool look to it. I can't remember who did the styling, but there's your 8-cylinder. And they used them for interceptor duty. These are neat cars. I think they were imported at one point, but I don't remember. I know Rover. We had Sterlings that were made by Rover in North America. But it looks good with the disc wheels. Great detailing. So yeah, neato car. Alright. Let's move on to some other stuff. Let's make some room over here in the traffic for cars that are coming. I'll put the Audi over here, Vet. Yeah, there we go. I'll tell you, this has been probably one of my top 10 castings so far. Just want to do another review. Look at this thing. Ooh, got a little dirt on there. Oh, good thing it's just dirt. It's coming off. I gotta clean it. This thing travels with me a lot. It's very nice to look at, so I bring it around. Alright, let's back up. Let's see. Let's put him out in the street a little bit more, maybe. How about that? Well, I certainly found a lot of Auto Worlds. So, I got the version A series. I found it. I was getting worried. I didn't think I'd see it, but it came out. So, 87 Voyager. And it's got the flush headlights. The rest of the casting is the same. Again, the quality is not perfect, but the blue definitely looks better. Let's get this thing to stop rocking. Definitely looks better than the tan, in my opinion. It's got the chrome wheels. They would have had more like a, kind of like a shiny aluminum. They really didn't chrome out the wheels. They had hubcaps that were chromish, but not the alloys. I think 87, I don't know if they had turbo 4-cylinder anymore in 87. Maybe it was. It's kind of cool. They usually don't do California plates, but this time they got them. Plymouth version. They haven't done Dodge yet. They probably will. But you can see the roof rack is hammered down, so I think what happened is they put it in and had tension on it from where this was, and it pushed it like that. So I didn't see it in the package. I can take this off, maybe straighten it out. Does have a lot of flashing on it. Interior is cool. It continues to have the original interior from the 84 and up vans, and it's got that stick shift in there, which is very, very rare option, but that was available. And it still has the turbo 4-cylinder in this thing. See if I can get it open. I'll probably need this. Let's get the old blade out. There we go. Good detail, though, I must say. So there's your engine, your intake, all that cool stuff. Shock towers, reservoirs, that's all in there. Battery. That's neat. Grill looks good. Obviously the orange work there on the turn signal is a little sloppy. That could all be pretty much detailed out. I do like the intention of detail on the door handle. It's got the black with the silver. So that looks really good. The only thing that needs to happen with this van is backspacing. Look at that. So you can see how bad the wheels are in there. So you got to put a shim. You got to take these apart, put a shim in there with some tubing. Again, I've looked at this before, people, but see this? You just take a little tubing and put it on there. And it creates the backspacing you need. Sometimes you got to put a new axle in there. It's not hard. Again, maybe we'll do that on camera, but nice van. Still a short wheelbase. We'll see if they update the casting, because later on the long wheelbase became optional and then became pretty much standard, and the short wheelbase was kind of like very low production. But you'd still see them. They did a platform on this. They did a redesign or a refresh on it. Basically the same body. And that went to like 96 or so. 94, somewhere in there. And then they went to that big jelly bean one. But all the way up from like 84, 83 to the mid-90s, it was based off of this. They just kind of updated the drivetrains and everything, but it was pretty much the same vehicle. And they had the two wheelbases. So they kind of stopped doing that. And then, it's cost effective to kind of stop doing all that. All right, the next car we're going to look at is this here Eagle Talon. So another Chrysler, Jeep, Eagle, Dodge, Plymouth, back then, Chrysler. That's what you had. So this is an Eagle car. Basically, Eagle was made to absorb the cars that were from AMC when they had like those four-wheel drive wagons and all that nonsense. So when they brought those into the Chrysler fold, they put them in the same dealers, and they had to kind of have an Eagle name instead of AMC. And that's kind of what happened. And they had this all-American type of marketing with the Eagle and the ruggedness and the off-road and the outdoors and all that kind of stuff. And they went well basically with the Jeep dealer. I have Dodge too and stuff, but a lot of the Jeep Eagle. That was kind of where they kind of roosted first. So this is cool. I got the white one because we had that Dodge Stealth that had all white, and that's a very famous color combination. So it was nice to have the smaller sports car in the lineup. Now this car is a 91. It's pretty much around when the Dodge Stealth was around, 91 through 2000 or whatever it was, 99. Whatever. But anyway, this one has the red interior, but it has the white wheels. This one has the white wheels. I just thought it was cool. Again, they kind of do the fully kitted out ones. This looks like the all-wheel drive turbo 4-cylinder platform. This car would have been V6 turbo. I don't think they had 4-cylinder in the Stealth. So there's our motor there. It's a little thick on the paint, so this doesn't close the best. But it's got a great look to it, and it goes great with the twin, so the bigger brother. They do the painted headlights and taillights, but they're starting to use the chrome base, the silver base with transparent red. So it gets a better look to it. Transparent paint, a lot better than just a solid red, for sure. Yeah, those wheels are good. So they really do good tooling with the cars. So these were the Chrysler, Plymouth, and then Eagle with the Talons and the lasers and this and that. Because they also have the Conquest. You know, we looked at those too. It's kind of funny. Someone really likes the domestic import stuff at Auto World, which is very neglected. I mean, they never really did these cars, so it's kind of fun to have them. The whole Chrysler lineup. Now, they have the XJ. They should probably make the XJ as an Auto World Jeep Cherokee I'm talking about. You know, they got it as the Johnny Lightning, which is a decent casting. But it is modified. It'd be nice to have a stock one. Now, Greenlight did a really good XJ, so it'd be good to have all the era unique Chryslers. I think the midsize Dodge Dakota from the mid-'80s to the early '90s, that Dodge, that would be kind of cool to see. But I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. All right, so that car's in the road with the other one. Kind of did a retrospective on the old white pattern there. So we found the other Impala SS, so we'll have another time to appreciate this casting. It's in the really nice color of a Danube blue, which is really like a navy, the way they painted it. Some information there. And then, of course, it's part of that set. Really, the only one I don't care for, and I keep seeing it, maybe I'll break down and get it, is this car. I don't like a lot of the Exner Chryslers. There's a few that are cool, but they're just they're not, I like funny cars, but they're just not the best. To me. I don't really care for them. I know like people like the lowriders and stuff, but, which is good. I like lowriders too, for a certain extent, but I don't like those goofy Chrysler. I mean, they're funny cars. The Valiant was really funny. The Dart, you know, those cars 1959 through 64, Chrysler in that range. There's a wild car. Some of them are kind of cool. The Fury, the 60 Fury, that's kind of a neat car. I just don't like that Dodge Phoenix. That's not one of my favorites. All right, so let's look at this vehicle. Of course, we looked at the green one last time. This one has a more pleasing color combination. It's got the light blue interior. Metallic blue. It's almost like a French or navy blue. This one didn't have the problem with the white walls being bad. They're very, very true, or as good as you can get. Still an existing wheel in the Auto World catalog, so that came out on many cars, but mostly the Impalas that they did. You got that really cool taillight setup. Painted bumper, of course. These are great detailed cars, all metal, nothing to fall off. Everything is molded into this, so these make great pocket cars, which I carry Auto World a lot, just because they are very hardy. Nothing to break off. I prefer something like this. This construction pleases me probably the most of the time. I like the way they do the base. Sometimes it can be a little heavy-handed just because the castings can be a little thick. They're not as thin as Mini GT. Mini GT is good too. I mean, if you take the mirrors off them, and the cars are pretty good to go in the pocket. So it just depends on people's thresholds for what they do with them. But I haven't been carrying a lot of Mini GT recently. I've been liking the Auto Worlds, the Hot Wheels Premiums, and this some of the 596 cars, some of the green lights, but Auto World seems to be the most happening for me. Let's see if we can get this motor opened up. See, this thing is tight. There it goes. So very basic engine. So this would have been, I think it's 396, wasn't it? I think you get 427s too, but maybe that might have been in the 67 car. I can't remember. 68. I used to know the muscle cars really well when I was younger. It was kind of easy to, well, not easy, but they had a thing where, like, you know, with Chevy especially, the engines came out in certain years and certain cars would get them. They were always improving their V8s. Every couple years, every 3 years, a new big block would come out. But I'm pretty sure it's a 396. Might call it out. Let's see if we can read it. Wow, that is tough, isn't it? That's at 7 magnification on the phone. Huh. Does it say on the card? No. Oh well. And you want to see the version B, it's this green, which I like too. I got to get it and find another one. These are easy to find. People really don't hoard these really too much, so it's a pretty easy car to get. Yeah, but that tire is really jacked. Looks like a hula hoop. So I got to get rid of that. But anyway, it's cool having the two. Now, the really good one is the exclusive, the Auto World exclusive. That's probably, less than 3,000, 4,000 made, I think. I can't remember. But that's the pink. That's that evening orchid whatever color. So I like that color. I want to get that. Now they make the exclusive, the Plymouth Fury, the GT Fury in black on the Auto World exclusive. That, I mean, I'll probably find it probably later on in the year or whatever. Someone will be selling it somewhere and we'll pick one up then. But we did find the Coronet, so in green, which I really wanted to find. I'm still battling with getting the wheels good on it, so we'll look at what I'm talking about. 68 Coronet RT. What a car. Again, I think this motor is a 383, if I'm looking at it correctly. It's definitely not a Hemi. Now, they're going to do a 68 Coronet convertible, and I think that has the Hemi in it. This car I don't think it has a Hemi. This just has a big block. This is still blue engines. They went to orange. So this wheel, I took this whole axle apart and kind of, when this was on originally, this would go up and down, up and down. It was crooked. It's still kind of crooked. I didn't glue it yet because I'm still playing with the hole, trying to make it a little bit bigger. But I like the green. The green is awesome. And then this is on the Magnum 500 wheels, and it's got the red lines. So a little bit different than the gold car with the BF Goodrich. You can see that gold paint didn't lay down really well. It kind of clumped up a little bit. You could see that's not consistent. But such is life. Anyway, it's not bad. I mean, if you see it not on the screen blown up, it doesn't look too bad. This has the same affliction. You can kind of see it. You paint body guys probably can see it. But it's alright, whatever. It's a great casting. This is good. There are going to be many of these. Don't worry about it. You'll probably see, if you don't get this set, you're going to get them eventually. They're going to be out there. It's got the Bumblebee stripe. It looks cool in white. And it's got the, instead of this boring black interior, because I want to take this apart, probably do a tan or a white interior for this one. This one's got that ivory interior and it looks really good with the green. This probably, again, another one of these, with probably better wheels, and do a green interior for sure. It's definitely got a nicer grill. The gold one, the black wasn't all over the place where it should be. Now, that's easy to fix. It's got that huge RT stripe or badge. But these are cool cars. Basically a Charger, but a Coronet. It's got the really cool taillights. Very happy to have it. Awesome. Thank you so much, Arwell, for doing cool cars and stuff not everybody does. We all appreciate it. I think I speak for a lot of people that are pleased with what Auto World does for us. All right, so let's go to Plymouth Fury. This is top on the list of the release of 2025, release 2. God, they're so behind. Burnt orange poly. What a color. So nice, beautiful, full-size fuselage car. Big block, probably a 440 car. With a 727 in it. That's 440, 375. What a rig. Beautiful orange color. We'll do a wide shot here just of it real quick. Coming in the parking lot. It is a real car. What a rig. Now this A-pillar was bent, so I took my needle nose and just pushed up on it a little bit. I've seen auto worlds where these roofs are not collapsed, but they've something happens to them when they go. Maybe when they get like this to get these pushed or something. These things, like a lot of the wagons are like that because the roof is so big. So this one was pushed in and it had a bow in it. So that's easy to fix. You just do it real soft. Pressure. Slowly. Do it a little bit and then take everything away and look at it. And you'll see it's moved slightly. And that's what you should do. You just shouldn't move it all in one jerk. You got to do it slowly. What a car, huh? So we got the blue one, of course, that we looked at. And these are still like muscle cars. Even though they're like luxury cars, really. So they're not, it'd be funny, it would be good. They're already kind of going in that direction. They really need to do like a Chrysler Imperial, four-door car, Plymouth Fury, four-door, that kind of stuff. The coupes are awesome, obviously, but I really think they need to do a four-door. Greenlight's really the only one that does stuff like that, where they'll take like a car, like a normal vehicle, has nothing to do with any performance or nothing. It's just like Crown Vic, four-door, station wagons, that kind of stuff. I think they should do a full-size town and country wagon, 1970 Imperial, all that kind of cool stuff. That Chrysler wagons from like 68 to 76, somewhere in there, 77, they were awesome. They were just very unique. Not a lot of people bought them, just like today. They're kind of the third in line always, but they had some really cool looking wagons, especially the fuselage wagons. I think they'd be awesome. They already did the clamshell wagons from the 70s with the Buick. They could definitely do one of these Chrysler cars. This orange is great. It's awesome. Let's look at the motor. I think the motor on these, very good detail. We got our washer bottle, firewall with the kind of like the support rods, kind of tie everything together. The doghouse to stiffen a little bit. That was common back then with these long pieces of sheet metal that they'd use. I mean, the engine's all the way back there. If you leaned over this way, which is almost impossible, you lean from here over here just to service this part. I mean, you're almost reaching, you're grabbing, you're tippy toe. It's just wild. All that wasted space on these cars. The funny thing is where you sit is like in here, right? And then the whole car, you got all this, just space. It's really not. You're sitting in a modern car today. It's funny. It's like you have more trunk space sometimes in cars. Maybe not this one, but there's a lot of these bigger cars that it's kind of, the legroom's a little cramped in some ways. I mean, not necessarily all these cars, but it's funny how they use the space. Like you get in a Ford Caprice, I mean, you sit in the back seat, it's okay, but it's not that much roomier than any modern car, and that car is like double the space because the trunk is from out here. Well, they had a lot of trunks where it's like you have the trunk and it goes under here to the seat. And they do that to a certain extent, but it's just the way, use of space is wild. So this is all this extra space, and a car like this really highlights that, because you buy this car and you bought it for the impressive size. That's sort of part of the equation when you're looking at cars this big. They had that presence, and they really did. And all this weight riding on like 14 to 15 inch wheels, little brakes and all that kind of fun stuff. Just a wild time. The back is just incredible. Of course, they got that badging. Sport Fury GT, Plymouth. Just the best. And also has the side stripes done correctly with the individual lines. Let's see if we can get it to focus a little bit. There we go. And the matching interior. Just the perfect car. This one has the blue interior. I think everybody can agree that those are very special cars. Alright, so now, one last one, and we're going to go back to the good old Mattel for this one. Now, I kind of teased this car on Instagram. We did a little bit of a view on it, but we'll just take a look at it here on the video. So we got the cool packaging that they do. Let's take a look here. I got this really cool package. Now, I already have the car out. I just want to show everybody how nice the box is. People that do the RLC, I get it. Everybody knows. They love it. They know about it. I don't get these all the time. I mean, they are kind of pricey, but they're nice. It's like buying a car jewelry. I guess you could equate it for a car guy, like how nicely it's done. They polish the body. There's no molding marks. I mean, they really take their time to make the car perfect. So in that respect, it's kind of nice to have something like that where there's really no flaws. And there's all this nonsense here about this car being a Pro Street. You know, it's like a real tubbed 10-inch tire car. I mean, it's a real drag car. Looks like it's a big block. We'll look at that here in a minute. Got the Yenko, of course. And Yenko, you know, I have that 3-car set. I think I did that here a long time ago on the channel. I got a 1/43 scale GMP Yenko set. Grumpy. I got a Grumpy big block Nova, like a 68 Nova. Like a Pro Stock or something like that. And then I got the 2 Yenko cars. And I think they were 70s or 69s. Now, this is a 72 because in 73, 73, 74, the Nova changed. I mean, it was based on this car that came out in 68, but they kind of did a refresh, kind of like on the pickup trucks when they were slowly refreshing them. But this is the preferred body style for me. The only one that I like a lot, almost the same, is the Chevy 2, which is the 66, 67 body. I love that car. A little bit smaller than this, a little bit more simple, but it's still just an awesome car. Really nice lines to it. This car is good too, but it looks amazing. I mean, just the purple. I love purple besides the green cars, but purple is one of my favorites. The Mustang I had was a dark purple custom color. So separate grill with the bumper, so it's chromed. And it's got, same thing with this, rear bumper. You got our fuel cell with the pump. You got our ladder bars, whatever you want to call it, with the shocks there. And then you got your rear end. Just awesome. You got your steering set up here, the sway bar, long tubes. Now this to me, yeah, it's automatic, I think, or well, like a power glide type of thing. That's what it looks like. It's got the Yenko in there, transmission. So let's see if we can zoom in on it. Yeah, it looks like the Yenko. I think I'm remembering that right. And then you got our cage harness in there, all that cool stuff. It has 2 seats, doesn't have one, just doesn't have 1 seat. Chromed roll cage into the package shelf. It's just a really nice car. And this is more like a car that's also like a show car, not just going out there. And the stance is perfect. Perfect stance. Back spacing is perfect. Obviously, being a Hot Wheels, it's going to roll good. So that's what I love about Hot Wheels also. And, I hate to say it, but this car's been traveling a little bit with me. And I try to be good to it. I put it in a nothing around it so it doesn't get scratched. It will. I'm afraid. I'm sure I'm going to chip it. I already did something there, I think. It's alright. If I need to buy another one, I will. Alright, so let's look at the motor. This car is just really awesome. Look how good that looks. I love it. Okay, so let's take this off. I learned to kind of not do it too much, but you just pop it. No, she'll come. Just we'll look at the hood real quick. Just so it has a great molding to it. It's having trouble picking up because it's like mirrored. But thin, and it kind of snaps in down there. And this is common. These front ends, these clips will be whatever, composite, fiberglass, carbon fiber, whatever you want to make them for these cars. So it really lightens out the car much. And sweet. A lot of them, they don't come off. Maybe they flip forward. So there's all sorts of different interpretations of this type of setup. So there's our hood, and then here's the car. So, of course, we got the whole front end done. Now, this is easier to do, I suppose, with a Nova than it is some other cars, just because they have what's called a subframe. So they're kind of like a half unitized car and a half frame. So, like this clip, there's a frame, kind of like a frame would be on any car, and it kind of comes to this part of the body here, and then it kind of bolts in, and then the body sits on. So you'll see a lot of these cars with the front clip taken off. The AMT model kit from the 70s that's been reproduced a million times. What's cool about that kit is the Nova is like this. You buy it like this. The kit's like this. It's not all one piece, and you get to put the doghouse on the car. So it's kind of like the way they're built for real. But we're seeing it here. So Hot Wheels did it. So anyway, you do the drag car. You kind of take that setup and replace it with a stiffened part. So you'll have this tied into the body, and then they do this. And this is common for these cars. This all gets tied into the cage and then the rest of the car, so it's all stiffened up. Because really, in actuality, you have the engine cradle in this, and it's really only tied in on the floor for the most part. And so you could see how that can become unstable with a lot of horsepower. So that's how they remedy that. And they do that on Mustangs too, the Fox body Mustangs. Any really unitized car that has high horsepower, that's a very common setup. So that's tied into the firewall, and that's tied into the roll cage. That's tied into the floor, tied into the suspension in the back, the whole thing. So it looks like big black car. It doesn't look like a Hemi or anything. It looks just like a big Chevy motor. It looks like it is naturally aspirated with a quad. Just a 4-barrel and a big one, but 4-barrel aluminum radiator. Now the accessories are minimal, so I mean this car really is a race car. That might even be like an electric water pump setup. Of course, everything, the rest of the stuff would be in the back of the car. So they really run as little as possible in the front. But, excuse me, it's really good. Good car. They're really pushing their boundaries on a lot of vehicles. The new 143rd sets that are going to come out with the pickup truck and that really cool Pro Street Camaro. That's going to be fun. So I think I'm going to be excited for that. I think we'll get more cars here in a little bit, but for now, we'll sign off. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. More cars to come. We got more cars. Hope everybody's getting ready for the next holiday. We just had Thanksgiving. Now we're going to have Christmas, of course, and any other holiday that you celebrate during this time. But yeah, we're gonna see some cars, I'm sure, coming up very soon. Thanks for all the new subscriptions. Let's get over the channel to the 10,000. Lots of reviews in the past catalog, so go back into the channel, look for some stuff. You might find a car that you've missed, that you didn't know about, or you wanted to know a little bit more about. It's in the channel. The biggest playlist is 1/64 scale, but we do other scales. And I might fill some scales in. We might look at some stuff. 1/24th, 1/18th coming up too, if I get around to it. Hope everybody's well. Happy hunting out there. Thanks for all the new thumbs up and subscriptions, comments. Let's grow the channel, like I said. It's going to help give us more content. More to come. Till next time.